Just sitting down, getting ready to enjoy this nice piece of white chocolate that I've placed in the center of my puzzle. Hold on. Where'd it go? So this is a type of puzzle you might have seen before. We have a certain arrangement of shapes. The shapes look a certain way. Maybe they are that way, maybe they're not. But in the arrangement as it is, we have a missing piece. I'm told there's like a way to get infinite chocolate out of this. When we rearrange those pieces though, for some reason, that missing segment, that missing square or whatever it might be, disappears. What is going on here? In this case, we can do two things to relatively easily figure out where the missing square went. One of them is we can add some additional structure to the puzzle by adding a grid. In this case, all of these pieces fit into a 7x7 grid. Now, I say they fit, but if you look at the puzzle in its original arrangement, you can see they fit exactly. When I put the puzzle in this other arrangement, though, you can see the pieces don't really fit precisely anymore. They're all just slightly off. And in fact, the second thing we can do, since these are obviously digital objects, is we can zoom in and we can see just how slightly off they are. What's happening here is with a little sleight of hand, everything moved inward just a little bit. In fact, you should be able to figure out the exact fraction by which everything moved inward. Spoiler alert, it's 1/14. Because what's going on is we have these thin bands of white on either side that clearly have to have a height of 7. Again, that's the size of our grid. And if the area of those actually adds up to that one full square unit that we saw earlier in the other arrangement of the puzzle, that means that the left side is half of a unit of area and the right side is the other half of the unit of area. And if those are rectangles with a height of 7, that means that their length must be 1/14, because 7 times 1/14 is what gets us a half unit of area. When we represent this puzzle digitally, it's relatively easy to see that that's the sleight of hand that's going on. The first time I ever saw this puzzle, it was actually with actual puzzle pieces cut out of paper, and it was a little bit tougher to tell what was going on in the rearrangement of the puzzle. There are other puzzles that rely on a kind of similar mechanism, where in one arrangement there's no missing piece, but then when you move them into another arrangement, all of a sudden a missing piece does in fact appear. Or of course vice versa, it could go the other way around. In the case of this puzzle up here, it's not that there's some sort of sleight of hand with the placement of the pieces, and in fact I've already put the grid up. Instead, the sleight of hand has to do with what is and isn't actually a triangle in that particular puzzle. Now, don't mind me, I'm just going to enjoy my infinite piece of chocolate.